Okay, so it's 7:07, we have a quorum, so I'm going to call the meeting to order and get us going forward. So the first item on the agenda is to welcome you as a potential new volunteer. And Stephanie, you asked a question about how volunteers, get involved with the organization. So it's a scenario where we're looking for people to roll up their sleeves, to contribute, to maybe lead an initiative, and then the path to full membership is to get embedded in the organization and contribute, move to an alternate membership position, and then ultimately to a voting member position. And that's because we are a town-sanctioned board, and that's just the way we're required to operate. So what we're going to do tonight is we're going to go through an agenda that covers the programs that we have coming up in the next 6 months or so. Each of the individuals will speak to the one that they're leading, and I would ask everybody, as we usually do when we have a visitor, just to explain a little bit about what the program is all about, to help you understand what it is, how we go about doing it, and that sort of thing. And then after we conclude the meeting, we can have just an open discussion with you and answer any questions that might occur to you as we go along. So under new business, I have Paige was, first of all, Greg has a gig tonight. He's playing at CR's in Hampton. Kit had a business commitment that came up, and Paige also had a commitment that she'd already previously made, but she did contribute something that I will present to everybody. But I asked her to put together some ideas in areas where she thought she could plug in immediately and start to, contribute and get some traction. So I'll go over that with you right now. And Stephen, if you want, I can email you a copy of the email that she sent me.
Yeah,
You
that'd
can
be great.
make it part of the minutes.
Sure.
So, first of all, Dasha, Paige said that you and she have connected around Wild Apples, and I think the area that she was interested in contributing was basically to help you organize the event because of her background in doing similar things. Do you have anything you want to add to that?
No, she's been really super helpful in looking at the Londonderry Historical Society rental contract agreement. There were some details in there that I needed her perspective on, and the fact that she has a legal background is very helpful.
Good.
And she's been amazingly responsive and just insightful, and I'm really glad to have her as a resource. And
Yeah.
I'll share more about the rental agreement.
Yeah, okay, when we get to that. So Karen, Paige also said that you and she had a conversation
yeah.
about art, the Arts Cafe, and setting up an online registration capability.
Yeah, I contacted her to find out more so I could understand really what it was about, and she did respond back to me. I haven't sent her, I was gonna wait till after our meeting tonight to respond to her email that she sent me.
Okay,
But, because I was thinking it was more in advertising, and she said it's more to get a count of how many people, I forget, how many people attending and something else. So I said I was gonna think about what she told me and everything,
okay,
and
all right. So the other thing that she's proposing, which I personally think is a good idea, it just so happens that she's a member of the Greater Londonderry Dairy Chamber of Commerce for her business. And we also have an associate membership as a sub-membership for the town of Londonderry. So she's perfectly willing to promote Arts Council activities as she goes to these networking events and the monthly Chamber of Commerce meetings. Steph, you and I have gone to a couple of them, but I'm not very consistent in my attendance and everything. So it'd be great to have her advocating for us, in those meetings. And what she's envisioning is to leverage the business after-hours events that the chamber promotes. So they have multiple events during the month, and a lot of the time, it's centered around a business that's either launching for the first time, opening a business. They will organize a networking event where they'll basically celebrate the opening and have a ribbon cutting, bring chamber members in to network, to get to know the new business owner. They'll serve refreshments, and, you know, it's a kind of a casual gathering, and they don't have a fixed number of those that they do any month. I think they basically, it's what creates an opportunity. But they also did plug into Concerts on the Common a couple of years ago in the same vein, where they're interested in trying to help us promote Concerts on the Common. So what Paige is envisioning is to find a business sponsor that's willing to run one of these business after-hours events, an open house, but invite area artists, you know, creative types, whether they're professional or hobbyists, to come together to make connections with other artists. And I think that would probably, you know, serve what your goal is, you know, personally. So she's willing to take that on and try to find businesses that were willing to create that event. It wouldn't be to promote any one artist. It wouldn't be to, you know, display art and sell it, but it would really be a networking opportunity to bring people together and to try to help build more of a community around the you know, the creative talent here. She's suggesting that we focus on inviting Londonderry people, but I think she'd probably be open to opening up to, you know, the greater Derry area as well. So, any thoughts you guys have on that or questions? Would be good.
No, I think it's
No, it's a
great
good idea.
Yeah.
Where are these events hosted?
Pardon me?
Where are the events hosted?
They're typically hosted at the business.
Oh, the business that
Yeah.
sponsors is like a restaurant or something, or like a store?
It could be anything. It
Well,
could be a
as an
medical
example,
office.
I got an email from Mark Oswald today. I don't know if you know him, but he's a longtime support. He was a town councilor. He's been in town forever. He's a real estate person now. And he said that they're going to have a meeting, an event at the YMCA in April. And he was suggesting that, I think, Larry, you got that too?
Yeah, yeah.
And so it'd be like that, right? Where
Yeah.
going in, I think they're kind of showing off the YMCA and their programs and things that they're into and what they're doing. But at the same time, it's a opportunity to network with everybody that's there.
That's cool. Yeah, it's a great idea.
Yeah, so she'll kind of flesh that out next month when she's here at the meeting, but I think it's a good idea to take advantage of and at least experiment with. And her idea is to do maybe 4 events a year, quarterly gatherings. And I think the way these work is that, you know, the chamber welcomes everybody. There's some focus on the business. And again, it's not just businesses. I know that medical practices that open up, it's, you know, basically for-profit organizations by and large, but they showcase their operation or their organization, but then it very quickly, you know, transitions into just a networking opportunity for people. So,
That's great.
but that's what she wanted me to bring to the table tonight, so. So the next thing on the agenda under new business is Richard Flyer's Andy Mack Tree Project. And Greg and I carpooled together last week, and he indicated on the way home that he's very interested in getting involved in that. I've spoken with Jan. She would like to be involved in that as well. And she happens to be a botanist, so she thinks that may add some value in terms of the way we go about this. And Dasha, you said, time permitting, you're interested in.
I said I was interested
Oh,
too
you-
last,
okay.
the last meeting. I
Okay,
was
I'll add you
interested.
to that list then. So the next thing to happen would be to get together with Richard to, you know, go over the scope of what he has in mind and and start to plan next steps. I think probably the first thing to do would be to tour the trees and figure out where they are, what they look like, and all that sort of thing. So, what I want to know from you, Karen, and from you, Dasha, is first of all, would you want to be part of that kickoff meeting?
Yeah.
And if so, when might you be available to do that?
I could be if it's not like an all-day thing, like, like an hour or so, just because all my free time has to be devoted to wild apples as much as I can.
Yeah, I understand that.
So, yeah, if I'm like available and not working or whatever, yeah, I'd definitely be a part of it. Otherwise, I can join at a later stage, maybe when some of the ideation is complete, so I can help with the implementation and execution of some of the ideas, like for example, the walking tour brochure or tree tour brochure. So yeah, I don't want to be a limiting factor because I suspect I'm not going to be as potentially as available in the next few weeks as I would like to be.
Yeah. No, I totally
Because I'm in
understand.
the final push of trying to get the magazine done.
So one of the tricky things we have to navigate with this is, we cannot trigger a quorum and
Yeah.
create an official meeting. So that means probably what I would try to finesse with this is that for whoever wants to get together with Richard for that initial discussion, I may not participate in it, so that we don't go over that threshold. So let me just see who's interested. Dasha, Jan, you, Greg, and me. So if we all got together, then we would trigger that.
How many can we have without being considered?
We
a
could have
meeting?
up to 4 on a task team.
Okay.
I can also sit out the first meeting. It may be more productive if you're involved, Larry, just because you're so familiar with Richard and his style.
Yeah.
And what he's envisioning. So I can volunteer to sit out if you don't want to, or we can switch off between.
Well, we don't have to exclude anybody from it, and it may be that we can break down some of the work into smaller
Yeah.
task groups, so that we don't get into that situation where we inadvertently create a quorum.
Yeah.
So what I can do is try to coordinate an initial meeting, keep you in the loop, obviously, with that. And if we keep it to myself, this is stupid, Karen, that would be 4. You, Karen, Greg, and me.
I'm pretty much available. I mean, I have an hour here, there during the week, except I'm on vacation Wednesday, this coming Wednesday, to the following Wednesday. I'll be in Alabama, but other than that, I'm available. But if you were gonna do it in that time frame, then I guess I would just miss the meeting, and maybe Dasha could attend if she wanted to. I don't know when you planned on doing it.
Well, it's up to you guys, and we can even do it on a weekend, let me put out an email to everybody and check on availability. And see what we can do. Okay, so you're out,
And is Steve and Stephanie familiar with the tree flyer or the tree project? Do we need a kind of a brief intro to Stephanie? And what
oh, I'm
those-
sorry, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
maybe to Steve, was it
Yeah.
Steve who wasn't here last time?
thank you, Steph.
Yep.
Um,
Can refresh my memory as well.
Just read the minutes from today.
So Steffi, this trees project that we're talking about goes like this. The original settlers of this area came over from Londonderry, Ireland. And one of the families that came here and settled were the Mack family. And I'm not sure how familiar you are with the Mack name around here, but perhaps you've seen Mack's apples, the farm stand.
I'm getting hearing aids, so.
Oh,
sometimes
okay.
I just miss
Anyway,
something, but-
so that farm was farmed by the Mack family from 1732 until just a few years ago. And the last member of the family to farm that land was Andy Mack. And Andy passed away recently, but one of his very good friends, Richard Flyer, who's also sometimes volunteer with the Arts Council, had always talked about doing a project with Andy. Andy knew about a number of historic trees in town. And his idea was to catalog the trees, take photographs of them, maybe use them as subjects for artwork, but also to put a brochure together so that people could take a self-guided tour around town, see the trees, but also understand Andy's perspective and history of the tree as it relates to Londonderry town history. So that's a project that we're about to kick off.
Just being here and part of the small part I've been in the last 6 years, it's just, the Mac family is evident everywhere. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just as, and I had the feeling when it was sold that something was amiss, and that was
Yeah.
the passing of the last member. That's sad, but that's exciting thing
Yeah.
to do.
So that's what that project is all
Wow,
about.
that's a good project.
And so, again, just not to beat a dead horse here, but because we're governed by the town of Londonderry, and the way public meetings have to be held in accordance with state law, we have to be careful about getting members together and achieving a quorum, because it triggers a legal definition of a public meeting. So there's all kinds of rigmarole that goes on around that. So that was why I'm trying to figure out how we can all participate without, getting into a situation where we're in a public meeting
Very
scenario.
nice, Yeah.
So.
Thank you for explaining that.
Yeah. Okay, so next on the agenda is For the Love of Music, and Greg who's not here tonight, is the individual that drives that. So For the Love of Music is a collaboration between the Arts Council and the Senior Center in North Londonderry. And we work with Alona Arndt, who's the Senior Affairs Director there. And about a year ago, we put together an afternoon of music on a Sunday afternoon. Greg organizes musicians, and we typically will have plus or minus 10 musicians show up on a Sunday afternoon, and we do an informal jam session. And the senior community is invited to come out, and the refreshments are served. And we've been running 50 or 60 attendees for that event. So the next one coming up on the horizon is on Sunday, March 23rd, which is a week from this coming Sunday. So Greg will organize the musicians, get them lined up, and we'll have another great afternoon. Stephen, the next on the agenda is Library After Dark.
Yep.
You want to explain a little bit about that?
Sure. So Library After Dark, the library approached us and asked if we wanted to partner with them. I guess it's really like an open house of the library. I'm not sure exactly what activities they have planned, but they basically were just asking us to collaborate with them on providing music. And so we reached out to Greg and Dan, and they're going to be performing there for an hour or two. And it's April 19th?
11.
April 11th.
11th. And so I don't know, we talked at one point about having to vote, so it's $250 that we're contributing to it. And I don't know if we have to vote on that, or if you guys already did. I haven't been for the past well,
We haven't voted on it.
yeah, so you had mentioned that we may have to do that. I mean, we've already kind of said we're doing it, but to make it official.
Yeah, we can do that right now, I suppose. And then the only question is, where do we want to, out of what side of the ledger do we want to take that?
I would assume it'd be the concert side.
All right, so I'll make a motion to fund our portion of the artist fee at $250. I'll make a motion that we,
I'll second.
Well, how often is it that we'll be doing that? did they
It's just,
say?
so as far as right now, it's just a
Oh,
one.
it's just a one-time?
Just a one-time thing, yeah.
Yeah, I second
You'll
it.
second it?
I have a
Alright.
follow-up question actually before you vote. Is there, like, do we get a chance to promote the Arts Council for our contribution, or sort of like what's the?
I'm sure they'd be happy to let us do
Yeah.
almost anything we want, probably, you know. We could talk about the fact that we have library artists there, you know,
Yeah.
as an example, right in front of everyone's face, and then I'm sure they'd let us set up a table with, you know, information or whatever, called apples, you know,
Yeah.
talk about
Well,
stuff.
that's a good idea.
When is it again?
The 11th of April.
Do you know what time?
I believe it starts at 6.
Is that
Yeah,
just before the Arts Cafe?
Yes,
Yeah.
it's the day
So-
before, so it'd be great to advertise that day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can we ask Greg potentially to give a shout out to the Arts Council, since he'll be on the microphone and like
oh, yeah.
performing? Would
You know,
he-
Greg, he'll,
Yeah, I don't know if he's planning to do that anyway, but since we are,
no, we
you
should
know,
ask
it'd be
him
nice to kinda
specifically,
get some
no, for sure.
promotion out of it or something.
Yeah.
Could we also maybe send out an invite through Exchange or through our emails to the
Um,
group to, or does that become more of a meeting? I was thinking if we all get an invite on our calendars, maybe we'd all go and support both the library
I
and.
don't think that, because we're not conducting any business, I don't think it would constitute a meeting, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope not.
Just
I'm
kind of a
thinking I'm
placeholder
gonna
for us.
probably wanna go, but I think they are asking that people make reservations, because seating is limited,
Okay,
so
it'll
I
be a
would say
count.
if you wanna attend, just, sign up, and I don't think that gets us
Yeah.
into any,
I was looking at their calendar today, but I missed it because it's in April, so I don't think I went beyond March,
Yeah.
so, okay.
so Dasha, what other ideas would you have in terms of promoting the Arts Council?
I mean, that's just it. It'd be good to have a space or just like a little shout out. Like, I don't know if any of us have the bandwidth to like man a table while we're there. Like, I don't think that I would, but if someone's up for it,
I'm gonna go, so if I can get some of those some additional business cards from you, Larry?
Yeah.
With the QR code, be happy to hand it out. And if we have any flyers of the
Yeah, I can
different
get
things we've
some.
done,
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll
Yeah.
put a couple on the table while I'm there.
you make like flyers for the Wild Apples party too.
Yeah, you'll
I'll
have the
do it,
detail, yeah. So we'll be meeting the Thursday before, so you both
Okay.
bring it to that Thursday meeting.
Okay.
I'll make it a point to bring it Friday.
Sounds good. Thanks, Steph.
If you'd like to join me, we can network some
Ah.
artists.
That'd be great.
All right, so back to, I make a motion, you seconded it, and
Second.
all in favor?
Bye.
All right, next on the agenda is the Arts Cafe, so Karen, you wanna,
Okay. Greg and I usually run the Arts Cafe. We have it usually in the spring. And it's like, we have local artists come and sell artwork. And then in the center are tables for people to sit and listen to the music. And then they can go around and communicate with the artists and purchase stuff. And we have food. We have free coffee from Coffee Berries and pastries, and I usually supply lunch for the musicians and the volunteers that help and the artists. And it's usually a nice, fun day. It's going to be at the Londonderry Senior Center.
Okay, toward Dairy, is that the one?
It's on Mammoth Road,
Oh.
Old Mammoth Road, so if you're going up towards Manchester, and then
Okay,
then there's a left off of the main road that's Old Mammoth Road, and there's a little sign that says Senior Center, but we'll have bigger signs the day of that show. Hopefully you'll be able to put them up, will you? Okay, great. And so that's going to be Saturday, April 12th, so it's right the day after the Library After Dark, and I'm hoping I can get volunteers to help me set up around 3 o'clock. I'll have access to the senior center because they close at 2:30. And so we just need to set up the tables and whatnot.
well, I can,
Shouldn't take
I can
too
help
long.
you with you
I'll
on
help you.
Friday, but I
Okay.
can't do any, I can't stick around on Saturday.
Okay. And
Friday at 3, you said?
Yeah, 3 will be, and I can send a reminder to everybody. Actually, we'll have our meeting before then, right? Will we have our next, I don't know when our next meeting is.
Right before.
Okay. We had, I didn't get any information out to you guys on that to post because I was waiting until I had all the artists scheduled. It was kind of like, we were kind of rushing to get this done. The deadline was the very end of February, and I had 8. 2 of them were gonna send me stuff, and now one of them backed out, so I have 7. So I still have an open spot, but I'm not too worried about the open spot. We charge $25 for the artist, so we've already gotten $175, and usually there's, we don't spend that much, so we should have some kind of profit from the show, because we're not paying for the senior center. Alana lets us use it for free, which is nice, because a previous woman charged us, but she's letting us do it for free. I don't have access to coffee pots anymore, but Alana has some there. She showed me where they were, so we'll be able to use their coffee pots and whatnot. And I already gave her a poster. I did send an email to everybody with a copy of the PDF poster. So if you could just spread the word, like send it out in emails to friends, or if you know, I hesitant about, I can print posters and put them out. It's just, I don't know how much, should I spend the money to do that, and how much do people look at those if we spread it out, and if everybody could print 1 or 2 that I've sent them and, give them to somebody,
Any thoughts on how effective putting those posters out really is?
I don't think we would know unless we asked people how they learned about the Arts Cafe, maybe. Maybe this is something we could do for, like, guests or people that come who aren't the artists. We can ask them how they learned about the
Yeah.
event, just so we get some data on
Okay, well,
what's
that's,
working.
yeah.
Yeah, I personally, I don't think they're that effective.
I don't think they are either. I don't think where I'd put them, people goes to those businesses, and whether or not they,
I do
So-
think that the senior center may be a lot.
oh, she did, she already,
Did
I
post
sent
one?
it to her,
Okay.
and she posted it, and I
I think
sent her
that
the
was probably where
information.
bulk of the turnout came from last year.
Yeah, she said she was going to, advertise too.
And do you want me to post on Facebook that there's like an additional slot for the artists? I can also post the PDF and the event details, but do you want me to try and like do that push to get another artist?
I think I'm okay with it only having the 7, because it's getting so last minute trying to get it all done and, stuff
Well,
ready for
the other
it, so.
thing you could do is, if, you may want to talk to Greg about whether he and Josh want to display their guitars.
Oh, I know they usually do, and yeah, so he
So-
could either have that one open spot, or he
Yeah,
could be
see
where he
if-
was last
See
year,
what he says. if
so.
that would fill it.
And I think that Jan is volunteering to do the kids' room again, because I was hoping to do the children's activities. I wish I could connect with her again. I did go over and drop off stuff to her that I had at my house, a bunch of stuff that my grandkids aren't using anymore. And she did say that she was going to, but I did try to contact her regarding this, and she didn't get back to me, so I don't know if something's going on with her or not. So hopefully, I'm gonna say she's gonna do it, hopefully she is, so that we'll have maybe more participation. So that is on the flyer. I don't know, was that on the flyer that I sent? I
think-
don't remember if
I think it's on the flyer.
because I think I remembered last minute and I added it, and I don't know if when I sent it to you
Here's-
guys, I had put it on there.
I didn't see it.
Okay. Yeah, so I didn't have it on there, so I'll have to update that, and,
So, my plan, Karen, is, on or about April 1st, I'll get a press release out,
okay,
and I'll include this in it.
okay,
And that'll go out to the usual outlets that we use for concerts on the Common and other events.
okay,
And the reason I'm doing that is, and if you want me to do something differently, I will, but my experience is that if you run it the week leading up to the event, you're doing it too late. So I'm backing it up a week,
Okay,
and April 1st is a Wednesday. Usually the editorial deadline for the papers that we're hitting is Monday for the papers that come out at the end of the week. So I don't want them to pick it up and run it the week before, so I'll get it out on the 1st.
okay,
They'll have plenty of time to make the run,
okay,
10 days out from the event.
okay. And then Janet suggested doing a raffle this year with the artist donating a piece and raffling it. So, I did ask, and most of the artists that are participating are going to, donate a small item. I'm just not sure, because I've never really done it with the artists, what's the best way to do it? Do we have the containers at the artists that are donating items and the piece there? And do we have them give the tickets, or do we give tickets out at the door? And I did ask Jan for help with this. She answered me saying she would get back to me, but that was over 2 weeks ago, and I haven't heard anything. So it just makes me a little nervous when I'm trying to plan and organize this, and I'm not really sure how to go forward, and I just like to have some thought on that,
Yeah, so typically what you'd have is a table,
Okay.
a separate table with the donated items. And then I'm presuming you want people to buy the raffle tickets?
Well, that's what's another thing. Do we have them
Yes,
buy
you'd
it?
have
So-
somebody, you either have somebody walking around, or you'd have somebody manning the table selling the raffle tickets. Or the participant buys the tickets, and then they put one of the two,
Yeah,
and maybe put their name on it, because if they're not gonna be there. So put their name on it, then they drop it in either a box or a container, and then you do the raffle typically right before the end of the show, maybe a half hour before. the
yeah,
end.
I did say that it was gonna be at, 3:00, I think.
So you're gonna require them to be present or
And
not?
they had to be present, because I'm not gonna worry about trying to get it. So my big thing with, it's 2:00, raffle items at 2:00. I was hoping that would draw in more people if they, are getting a raffle item. So with the tickets, I'm kind of busy that day, and I would need somebody to take care of that. It could be more dedicated if I did it that way. That's why my thought was, and I don't know how that is, because I don't know if I should post it to the artist, is to have it. But then I don't know if that's fair, if there's some that aren't donating, I don't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't put it on them, I would,
Okay, put it on like a table, and,
yeah, I would have a member of the art council.
is anybody willing to step up to volunteer to sit there?
I do half of it,
Okay,
half the day.
okay. I mean, I could probably do some time, but I'm always busy
Yeah, yeah,
filling the
yeah.
coffee pots, and I can't sit dedicated for, a specific.
I'll get back to you on it. I-
Okay.
Yeah, it's a little far out for me to fully commit yet, but.
Okay,
My concern with saying that they have to be there, though, is that people in the morning, no one's gonna buy a raffle ticket unless they're there right around 2:00, I think,
yeah.
But
the only thing is, if we don't, I'm
No,
not
I
gonna
know.
worry about
No,
getting it out.
I
So I
understand
figured that
problem, but I-
probably, it might draw more people in the afternoon, that maybe in the morning it wouldn't be.
maybe, but
Yeah.
I think the problem's gonna be that the rest of the day, no one's gonna buy a ticket. If someone's there at 11:00, they're not gonna be there until 2. And I think it's unlikely, unless they really see something they really want, that they would come back at 2:00.
So what would you suggest then?
I don't know. It seems to me it's either you have to say, I'm gonna, mail these things to you or drive them to you, or you have to come pick it up. Maybe you put it on them and say, if you win, I'll let you know, but then you have to come pick it up.
Yeah, I think that would be the only way I would do it, because I'm not going
Yeah.
to
No,
go
I
and deliver these,
I
and I'm not
understand
spending
the,
postage to have
Right.
these all, it's
no, we had
pointless.
the same problem when we do the raffle with concert T-shirts.
Yeah,
We end up driving them all over the place.
yeah,
Well,
Because you
the
have to
other-
call first and make sure they're there and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, and the other thing is if you were personally involved in, I think you were with Mark's cruise giveaway, and how
Why not?
challenging that was to,
Yeah.
get- to, you know, to make that, pull that one off.
I mean, I wasn't doing the raffles so much to get money for us. I was doing it to draw people in.
Right.
And I just thought doing the raffles, that people would come. And I realized that people wouldn't stay there all day, but maybe we'd get more of a draw of people in the afternoon. that
No,
would
I
come.
understand your logic. I just kind of, I don't know if, I think the problem is you're not going to get anybody in the morning then. You know, anybody to buy a ticket.
Yeah, but I don't care if I sell the tickets. I could even just give them out at the door. To me, it's not for the money. It's to get people there.
Yeah.
Well, the only thing you can do is test it.
Test, yeah, I think that's what I'll do. I'm just gonna test
See how
it
it
this way and see how this works. Put it on the thing, and I don't know that I will sell them either, because people might not wanna buy them. Like, you could just get a ticket when they get there, you know? Or,
So like
because
the-
we usually put a donation
Did
thing
you
out.
run a 50/50 with this event one
Yes,
time?
we did.
And how did that work?
We didn't get hardly anybody that bought tickets. I think we made a whole $10, and the person that won just donated back to us. We didn't get paying for it. We didn't get that much money, but we usually have a donation for the pastries, and people put money in there, so. My big thing, like I said, was not collecting money for the tickets, but I wanted to draw people in. I thought if people see, oh, there's a raffle, I'm gonna come because I might win a piece of artwork or something like that, you know? That was my thought on it.
I would promote it as free then.
As a free raffle.
I mean, then you
yeah.
don't want to say it's a raffle, you want to say it's a free raffle for artists, you know.
Giveaway even.
Yeah,
Okay,
so that people understand why
okay,
they want to be there.
okay.
Yeah, like say like at 2:00 we're gonna be giving away 5 pieces of art to
Right.
anyone who's in attendance.
So,
Exactly, yeah.
putting that in on the website and everything
Yeah.
else is great, because that's a lot of wording, but
all
on
the-
this poster, that was what I was having trouble, and I had asked Jan was, how should I put it on here? I can't put that much wording on
I just
here.
put free.
Free
I
raffle.
would just make sure it's a free
Okay,
raffle,
free.
because
Don't
that's,
even call it a raffle, because I mean,
Yeah, right, it's not even
raffle
a-
implies, I
Free
think, it can be
giveaway.
confusing just because
Yeah.
it's
Free?
associated with
Okay.
buying something maybe.
Well, free giveaway kind of implies, yeah, giving everybody something, but
No,
Well-
giveaway like kind of like at random, like free giveaway to 5 guests in attendance.
random drawing.
But
a
I-
random drawing, free
Oh,
Oh, random,
Free
yeah,
random drawing. I
to
would get that with free in
5
there, though.
yeah, that's
people in
that's good.
attendance. Interesting.
Well,
I think the one element, though, is just be mindful of, is it gonna add enough? Is it gonna add so
Enough
much
value.
work and burden that
That's what I'm
Yeah.
wondering too.
the return on investment of your time, money, the artist's time?
I don't know, that's,
Isn't
like Larry said, I
significant
think
enough
I
to
need to
warrant it.
test it, because
Yeah.
the whole point of doing this, to me, was to draw people in, not to get money, not to
Right, right,
collect
yeah,
money.
so I'd
was
make
to
it free
get-
then, yeah.
to
for
get-
sure.
This is why we need
To
more
do,
bags.
'Cause that's what'll
Give the
draw
bags
people
to
then.
totes.
Yeah.
Totes.
A raffle won't, but a free
If
giveaway
you're on
will.
board, I'll start
Right,
designing
potentially.
it, because I really want to.
When you bring it.
Okay,
So
so does that sound
This
good
kind
to
of
say it like that?
brings up the question of, and
Should I
something
word
we've
it
sort of been
different?
talking
I'm
about
not.
merch for a while.
Hang on a second.
Yeah.
We're breaking out into individual conversations, so Steph, you were,
So along the lines, we talked about the free giveaway and the artists, and there is some uncertainty that you'll get 5 artists to donate, although most of them do.
I think most of them did.
Most
There was
do.
only, I think Barb was the only one that said she.
We were talking about a giveaway and possibility of, we've talked about merch in the past, is maybe designing a recyclable tote bag for the Art Council. I know we're still working on the logo, but Dasha just mentioned if we agree to do it, she'll start working on a design.
Yeah,
So
I
it's
mean,
just, what I'd
yeah.
recommend, I'd just ask is if we're in favor of just starting a design process on that.
What is this now?
For merchandise, like a tote bag. So you could say, you know, a free giveaway of a tote to
Oh, I
5
see.
people. So, or we can
yeah.
sort
Oh,
of give them
I know.
away as, you
Yeah,
know, people love bags, right?
absolutely. Yeah,
It has
yeah.
our logo and our, you know, it's kind of free promotion. It's a promo item for the
Yeah.
Art Council. We don't really have any promo items. We have for concerts, we've got the T-shirts, but just with your support, if we could start the design process on it.
Yeah.
And maybe that'll kind of spin off a logo.
That'd be
We,
great.
we could even print some potentially in time for this,
Oh, yeah, easy.
like maybe just a small run.
Yeah.
And it just says Londonderry Arts Council. It doesn't have to be a logo. Like, I don't think
Okay.
we're anywhere.
Yeah.
I would love a logo, but I feel like we've been working on it for two,
Yeah.
2 years and it's not gonna happen.
We need a
Yeah, it
logo
just says
committee.
Londonderry Arts Council. We can have it printed. There's a printer, tote bag printer here in town called Eco Totes. They make nice, high-quality tote bags, because like a cheap, flimsy one, I don't think is what we want. Like, we want to represent ourselves with something high quality. But the thing is, it will cost some
Yeah,
money.
what would
Like,
be the cost of that?
it's probably $10 a bag, like around.
Yeah,
maybe less.
I don't wanna do that for the Arts Cafe this year, cause I wanna make a profit.
We,
Yeah.
And $175 is all we're getting, and I still have
Yeah,
expenses. I
just
pay for
something
the
to think about.
coffee and-
we
yeah.
could try and get some other quotes, like, you know, we might be able to print them more cheaply online or something than using a local vendor, but it could be a good way to like spend additional funds if we have them,
Well,
yeah.
there's money on the art side of the equation
Yeah.
to leverage for that. So,
Yeah.
so are you guys on board with us starting sort of the initial phase and research around
Yeah,
Absolutely.
this
That's a
element of
great
merch?
idea.
So
Yeah.
bags being the, do we have to vote
Yeah.
on this?
pardon me?
What's
Do we
it,
have to vote
Echo
on that?
Tote?
Ecotote,
Go-
ECOTOTE. They're like a great local screen printing business around here. I think that's what they're called.
Do you have any idea what minimum orders they have?
I'm guessing it could be like up to 10 or 20. I will get a quote from them. How about that?
I mean, I'm all for it, but I'm also mindful of your time.
Yeah,
I'll help you on it.
okay.
I'll call and get the quote if you want.
Okay. Yeah, if you want to like pick, because they have, when they go on their website, they have like all these different sizes.
I just wonder.
Okay.
So if you want to select a size and a type
Yeah, I can
or
do that.
whatever,
And I
yeah.
have an REI tote bag that's really kind of in my head around what we might like for that.
Cool. Yeah.
As long as it has leather.
Yeah, leather.
You want a bag you can
Leather and
fold up
fin-
really tight and throw in your bag.
Or, so, free random drawing, what did you say? Free drawing for the
Help me
poster, so
word
I'm
that,
changing
man.
back
I don't
to
want
Drawing,
free drawing?
free drawing.
Yeah, just free, I don't know, I don't put random in, I'm not sure how to interpret that.
But
For
I-
art giveaway.
Or unless
Yeah.
I'm-
But I would also suggest that you say free drawings of art
Yeah.
throughout the day.
Ooh, now you're gonna do it throughout the
Because
day.
if the goal is to get people in the
Yeah.
door,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
like
yeah.
that one
Yeah,
better,
don't
'cause
have
then
it at
it's
2
not
o'clock,
at
have it
2
on the
o'clock.
hour or
yeah, you can do it on the hour.
every hour, we're gonna have 5 free how many hours it is.
Well, you can just do it randomly. You could just say, we're gonna hold 4, we're gonna wrap, or
yeah.
give away,
Yeah,
whatever you're gonna call it, throughout the day, periodically
Stuff
throughout
free.
the day. or whatever.
They're gonna be small items, they're not gonna be big items, because obviously they wanna make money, so. How do I don't wanna just say art, because I don't want people thinking they're getting a painting, you know,
Right, right.
what would be the proper word the proper way to word that it's gonna be free,
Vendor donated items,
Vendor
or
don-
something along that.
Art-
then they move
artist-
it, or
artist donated-
Artist,
donated.
yeah,
Artist
I don't
donated
call them
item.
vendors, but, I'm sorry, artists donated.
item, yeah.
That's better than free. I have to say.
You don't want your
as
art being
the-
given
as an
away for
artist,
free.
Free
That's
is
true.
down-putting for an
Yeah.
artist, because
Mm.
it's
Kinda was
like,
thinking that, so,
it's-
thank you.
you haven't put any skin in the game. You know,
Yeah.
donated is a much better way to
Yeah.
do it.
That's a good
Okay.
point.
Thank you.
so,
Thank you.
Thank you.
random artist donated items during the day.
Put that through a thesaurus and see what you come out with. There's just too many words there,
I
so.
need help because I'm not good with English and wording. that's why I asked Jans for
Yeah,
help.
The
but I
thesaurus
didn't
could
have that.
probably rework that. AI might be able to tweak that a little bit. I'd have to kind of stir that around to think. I think the donated giveaway, artist donated items is important. And
Pieces.
pieces, better, even
Yeah.
better, pieces.
This is fun.
raffled throughout the day.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then AI generate that, see what it comes.
Donated
Donated artwork, even better, donated artwork.
I sent you the link to
Thank
the tote. You can just get a quote super easily.
The morning
They're called
office.
Enviro totes.
I'll get into that tomorrow.
I also made a logo a while ago. I forgot. Not a logo, but like a design. So I'm gonna send that to you too. So you can maybe upload it to the quote, just so they have something they can mock up. We can always change it.
Process.
Gotta find it though.
And you had something you wanted to share?
No, I just said, is it okay that I keep this, because I marked
Yeah.
this up?
I
So don't
apologize,
send out that
but
poster that I sent you, because it'll need to be updated.
I just want to let you know that the way my brain is wired is if two people are talking to me at the same time, my brain shuts down. So
Yeah, it's
I
like,
don't mean to be rude, but,
that's okay, no,
I mean, that's the way it works for me.
It should be. We should all be single tasking.
Pardon
We should all single task.
me? It just doesn't work for me.
Get more done.
Yeah, I wish we could.
So in terms of timing, Dasha and
Huh.
stuff, if you want to move that along before the next meeting, just keep me in the loop on it.
Right.
And, you know, if we need to get an order in or something, I'll even donate money for the first order,
Yeah.
if you want to have it
I
ready
could
for
too.
that, so. And frankly, if we do have an opportunity to do something with the library, that might be another opportunity to promote the Arts Council.
Mm. Yeah, if we had the tote bags by the time of the library thing, you could sell them at the table at the library.
Oh, yeah.
Or just offer them up for sale. You don't have to peddle them, but have them on the table along with everything else, just like a little draw. I don't know.
Well, you know, the other thing, not to make this even more complicated, but the other value that we could get out of this is if people are giving us their contact information through the giveaway process, I don't know whether it makes sense to try to build that into our email database or not, you know? But that's, never
Yeah,
mind.
I mean, I think they would have to like opt in to
Yeah,
communications.
forget I even said that.
It's a good idea.
I'm
But
not sure.
like, usually we just get their permission to send them emails,
Yeah.
and then we can add them to MailChimp.
All right, any more on
I
the arts?
just had one more thing,
Okay.
would the people be willing to donate a pastry item? I usually make a cake, and I know Julie usually does her dump cake. I usually make a coffee cake, and sometimes I'll go to Shaw's and pick up inexpensive things.
Will you take a banana bread or oatmeal cookies?
Yeah, that's
All right.
good.
Which
Okay.
do you prefer?
Doesn't matter.
Because the only two things I
Whatever's
really want to
easiest.
make.
Thank
All right,
you.
I'll do one or the other. You got it.
I'm sure Julia will do the cake again.
Thank you.
Keeping it simple, 2 items.
Yeah, something simple. I did buy some stuff already, so.
All right, anything else on Arts Cafe? All right, Dasha, you're on deck, Wild Apples?
Okay. Okay. A lot of ground to cover. Let's see where I want to start. I'm putting together the magazine. I bought a publishing software. Thanks for getting that check request out. The final tally is 66 pieces by 34 artists. Majority, 21 of those, about 30%, are illustration or painting, 5 fiction pieces, 16 poems, 10 photographs, and then 11 like mixed media pieces. So 2 things I want to mention. One is the printing quotes. I requested 3 quotes from local print shops for an estimate of an 80-page full-color perfect bound, so like a real book, not like stapled or anything, but like really nicely bound. 8.5 by 11, so a printer sized page book, which I think is just the easiest to do. I will try to get the page count down as much as I can because that affects the printing costs, obviously. Minuteman and Londonderry did not respond. Colonial Printing in Manchester offered a really extraordinarily high quote. The best quote I got was from Alpha Graphics in Manchester. It's it's not cheap. For 25 copies, it's about $15 a copy, equaling about $393 for a 25 count run. If we wanted to go up to 50, the cost goes down to about $14. So kind of a negligible difference. And I think that's probably the best that we're gonna get at this current time. And I've worked with that printer before. They are like excellent. I have no concerns about them. I sent an email to all the contributors asking them to reserve May 17th for the release party, which is a Saturday. And I also asked if they would be willing, if they want to buy a print copy. And like about 10 people have responded yes already, that they are coming and that they would like to buy a print copy. Some of them have kind of like put it in order for 3 copies. So I think maybe some of them will not actually buy a copy, and we're not like collecting, we're not like getting online orders for this. So we have to understand that whatever amount we decide to print, we might have extras left over, which is totally fine. I don't think that'll be a problem. So I'm getting like a list of the people who want to read, and the people that want to bring in their original artwork to display. I actually wanted to ask Jan if there's a possibility we could use the easels in the library, bring them over to the barn for that day, just to offer some of the like painters, if they want to put their painting on an easel to display and just like sort of have around the space. I don't know if, is May when you have your student or your children's art display in the library?
No, we're
Yes,
having
they
it
have.
for March and April.
March,
It'll be gone
okay,
by
so there's a chance they'll be
end of
free in May.
April.
Okay.
Yeah.
So any thoughts about the printing quote? Does that seem like really high?
So what was it? It was $15 for 10?
About $15 per copy. Let me just email it to you, actually. $15 per copy for 25 copies.
Okay.
And if we go up to 50 copies, the price per copy goes down to about 14.
Yeah, so it's, like you say, not
I
much
don't think the
difference.
unit price is unreasonable for what you're producing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't either.
So, is there a setup fee involved in the quote?
Like just an upfront cost regardless of how many issues you print? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah. Well, I mean, let me put it to you this way. Before I retired, and I worked with, with agencies and doing, marketing work,
Yeah.
sometimes there was a setup to do basically do the configuration of
I
the print
see.
job.
No, they didn't mention that, and
Well,
in the
look,
past I've done books without.
But the reason I'm asking is that, because the real question is can we do incremental orders? So in other words, if we order 25, or we find out that the people that show up for the launch party decide after all that they do want to book,
Yeah.
a copy of it. I'm just wondering if we re-incur
Yeah.
the setup charge, or whether we can just place
Yeah, it's a
subsequent
good
orders
question. I
without.
mean, if they do all
Yeah.
the software rigmarole to get the thing set
Yeah.
up to run, you only do that once, then they're not gonna change. I'm sure they don't throw that away if we tell them.
Well, it's digital printing, so
Right.
I don't think there's like physically any like screens to set up. or
Right,
anything,
But I'm
I'll
just wondering,
confirm.
maybe there's still
Yeah.
something, can they really just take your file, a PDF, I assume, or something? and
That's been my
really just-
experience. Yeah,
Yeah,
they've been really
there's no
great.
setup at all?
I mean, this is obviously a larger, a more elaborate type of thing, but no, I've done like a perfect bound book for them, ordered 10 copies and been like, hey, I want 20 more, and they just charge me per copy. that
Oh,
I
okay.
want.
Good.
Yeah. So, but I will confirm and get a firm
Yeah.
response.
I don't see those numbers as being a problem, and, you know, remember, I would like to have a number of copies. I want to give the town council a copy,
Like each of them, or just one copy?
maybe each of them.
Okay.
I mean, they're the ones that are
Yeah.
major supporters of what we're doing,
So that's like 7 or 8 people or something already?
There's 5 on the board.
5 of them?
And I think we should have some copies at the library.
Yeah. So
Um,
let's say that's already 10, like, if you
Right.
want to give one to the town manager too, yeah, that might be a
Yeah.
nice gesture, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, figure a handful for town
Yeah.
officials, you know,
Yeah.
some for some copies for circulation, or display over at the
Yeah.
library.
Yeah,
And, I'm gonna want one or more of them myself,
Same.
so
yeah,
I don't think meeting a 25 minimum order is gonna
Yeah,
be
it's
a
gonna be
problem.
difficult.
okay. Okay.
Did you have a
um,
price quoted to the artists that want to buy a copy?
I kept it pretty open because I
Okay.
said we would be providing it to the artists at cost, but that
Okay.
I don't have a cost yet, and I estimated, I gave a range between 15 and 25, so it'll be on the low end of that range.
Okay. And then
And-
will we have copies available for purchase, or are we gonna just do it as an online order and then sort of on demand from there? Or should we have like a dozen waiting in case people want to purchase
Yeah,
them?
for the release party, certainly, I would bring copies to the people that told me they want one, and then I would bring an extra just to have at a table, but we should
Yeah.
also, after the event, have some, at one of our houses or whatever that we
Right.
could provide.
Yeah.
And add something on the website that says if you want to purchase a copy, I don't know if Squarespace supports like ordering products, probably
They
not.
could email us
No, they
too.
do,
They do?
and we actually pay for
Oh.
a plan, because I had to do that to be able to accept credit cards.
Oh.
And so we do pay for that. We do
Okay.
have that ability to accept credit card. So the credit card,
Oh, great.
you have to goes to the town, which is all good, right?
Yeah.
You use the town's account and all that stuff. So the money only goes to them.
Yeah.
And then we get an email that, hey, someone's donated, in this case. In your
Mm.
case, it's gonna be someone's
Made a
purchased a
purchase.
book, and
Yeah.
and you can put a form on there, you require address, you
Mhm.
can't hit submit until you fill stuff in, type of thing.
Mhm.
So, yeah,
Okay,
yeah, if you look at the page for sponsoring,
okay,
you could set up something like that.
that's awesome.
So, yeah,
So
yeah.
realistically, 50 doesn't seem like it's out of reach.
Yeah, we'd
So we go
probably,
somewhere between 25 and 50.
we'd probably sell the 50 eventually, but I'm just not sure how fast,
Hmm.
They might just sit around for a little while, but,
We give some out as raffle prizes too. I don't know, I mean, it's an expensive thing, but it's put it out there, it'd be fun
that's a
to
great idea.
give some of those out.
a
Maybe
great
at Old
idea.
Home Day,
Yes,
something.
have those on the table.
yeah, well, I mean,
Yeah.
at that particular concert even,
Oh,
just
yeah.
because so many people come.
Yeah,
It'd be expensive to give one out every week, but,
right,
so anyway,
that's a great idea. I think we
Yeah.
have multiple opportunities to give them away as promo or sell
Yeah.
them.
yeah,
Yeah, that's great.
we certainly could have it at the table at Concerts in the Common, for sure.
That's perfect, yeah.
Yeah, and I would mark it up. I would, you and I, we had this conversation about T-shirts. I mean, if, the initial run, I would sell at cost
Uh-huh,
to anybody who's participating in it. But if we're putting incremental orders in, I would mark it up and sell them for 25,
yeah,
just because the other thing you have to factor into it is the fulfillment end of it. And if you have to mail something to somebody,
yeah.
there's postage involved in that.
Yeah, we could sell it, we could do media mail, thankfully, which is pretty cheap, and I'm happy to take on the mailing portion of it, because I sell a lot for like eBay and whatever, so I'm used to it. But, yeah, we'd have to, I think for non-contributors, certainly it's reasonable to mark up.
Yeah.
Um,
And they should pay something for shipping unless they
Oh,
want
yeah, shipping's not
Yeah,
included.
to
yeah,
pick it up somewhere else.
And the platform for the digital, you've got that locked down. Is that going to be accessible on our website?
yes,
Okay,
so,
excellent.
it's a goal. And we can even sell tote bags on our website now.
Yeah, Absolutely.
Be a
Well, you know,
whole merch store.
People are always looking for ways to contribute,
Yeah.
believe it or
Right.
not. I mean, you know, at concerts on the Common, we walk around and give away free tickets, and people pull their wallet out and try to give us money, you know, and.
Yeah,
and,
it really is more about branding and just getting us out there
Yeah.
than
Tears in our
making a
eyes, we
whole
have
lot
to
of
say
money.
no.
Let's say we can give them something at least, you know.
When is the party, is,
Okay.
the 11th,
Yes,
Uh,
let's
you said
pivot to the party. It's
17th,
May
right?
17th,
17th?
which is a Saturday.
17th? Sorry,
Yeah.
okay.
May
I was
17th.
trying to find the list of the library artists so we could see if May was available for the easels.
It's not updated on mine.
Yeah, okay, thank
Yeah.
you.
I thought the entire year was booked, is what I've got in the notes from Jan,
Oh, great.
so.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean we couldn't just take them down for a day.
Yeah,
I don't think,
I'll talk with her and see if
yeah, I
that's
can't
possible.
imagine that'd be a big deal.
Yeah. Okay,
Paying to put 'em
so I
on.
had some notes about the event. There's a lot of back and forth with Linda from the Historical Society. I mentioned last time that it's $50 an hour for a 3-hour minimum, but we would get 50% discount, so that would be 75 for the facility rental. In their rental agreement, and I had Paige look at this too, which was really helpful, they require a $1 million insurance policy.
Oh, my gosh.
We had to deal with that before.
Okay, I was gonna ask if there's a precedent for this, and
Yeah, we did an art event, Susan Hanna organized this, but we did an art event called Summer Finale, and it was an outdoor art exhibit and with a music component to it. And that liability, scenario came up
at the barn or somewhere else?
at the barn.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, it's a standard part of their agreement.
yeah,
And I'm trying to think how we resolve that. The thing is that the Historical Society is not a town-sanctioned organization. They're an independent
yeah.
nonprofit organization. So here's what I'm gonna recommend. We can try to negotiate it out, or we can, refer to our town council liaison, who until Monday would be John Farrell. But give me a copy of it, and we can try to get it in front of somebody at the town, and get it in front of the town attorney and try to figure out how to do a workaround.
Yeah, because Paige asked, like, if there is a town insurance policy that we can hop onto for this event.
You know, what I'll do is, I think what we can do, and if you want to do it directly, you can. Now that I think of it, I might just run this by Cheerston
Okay,
to see if she can figure out how to sort this out, or who we should be talking to.
It seems to me when I did the show at the church, there was something about an insurance policy. And I got a hold of Steve Cotton, I think,
Is he,
at the time, took care of that.
is he the town attorney, or?
No, he's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what
He
was
he was
his
David
job?
Wally, or, I don't know. He was Kirsten, kind of, and higher up, but.
Because it seems like I remember having something with an insurance policy through the church, and I dealt with Steve Cotton at the time. That was, you know.
Dasha, send me the agreement, I'll run it by Cheerston. I mean, it's not uncommon, and
yeah. seems
it's
standard.
actually, it's not that, it's ridiculous for us to pay for one, but those insurance policies aren't as expensive as you would think.
Yeah, I mean, I looked and I just like played around with getting quotes and they're about $100.
Yeah, they're not,
So it's not insignificant for us, but if we can find a way to not do that, that would be
Yeah.
great.
yeah, so let's just, you can either send it to her and CC me, or if you want me to run point on that.
I'll send it to you because I think you have the language and skills to approach.
No, it's
The
just that
question to her.
I used to I did a lot of contract law. And
Yeah, that's great. And for concerts on the common, this isn't required? Like, we don't have,
No, because we're a town thing, I guess.
Yeah, there may well be a liability insurance policy that we're covered by,
Right, yeah.
already in
We're
place.
already in.
I
under-
think that's what it was, a liability thing that Steve
So-
Cotton I had to give a copy to them.
So it may be that we just need a letter from somebody at the town hall saying that we're covered by a policy, or it's easy enough to get a certificate of insurance
Okay.
to cover that.
Awesome. So that being said, do you feel like I should go forward with booking and sending the contract agreement and paying, or do you recommend holding off until we get some clarity? Because I can also try and look for like backup places to hold this event in the meantime.
Well, I say press on, I mean,
Okay.
I would lock it in. But
Okay.
the other thing you probably want to think about is what your plan B is if you have inclement weather.
I mean, the inside of the barn is indoors. We'll probably technically have to make it partially outdoors because more than 40 people will be there, maybe, although, I don't know, maybe it's not gonna be that well attended.
Yeah.
Um,
Just something to think about.
yeah, that's a good idea. And, for parking, I don't think that little parking lot is gonna accommodate everybody. Do you know if in the past we've been able to use the church parking lot next door, or if we need?
I would ask, I
Permission.
would put that on the Historical Society. They're
that's-
hosting us.
Yeah,
We're signing a contract. and
yeah,
They should be able to handle parking. And they do weddings there all
yeah,
the
so
time.
they,
So they might have an arrangement with
yeah, good point,
the church next door already.
yep, good point.
I mean, just think of it from this perspective, you know, they're a vendor to us now because of the way they're going about this. And so if they're gonna rent it out to us, they need to accommodate the parking somehow.
Right, makes sense. Let me make sure there's nothing else I wanna run by you guys. Do we have a little bit of budget for snacks and hors d'oeuvres and beverages? We can serve alcohol, it just has to be wine and beer. I'm happy to donate, like just buy some stuff on my own, but if we wanted to allocate some money for that, would that be possible?
I think we can put it on the table for a vote, but if not,
For a vote.
I'm happy to contribute.
Yeah, I
I'm
can
happy to
contribute
contribute
too.
too.
I would too.
I would be happy to.
Julie loves wine, she'll love picking
Yeah.
out wine.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. It won't
Great.
be expensive wine,
That's perfect.
because that's what
It's gonna be
we
served in
focus
a
on.
plastic glass, so it won't really matter.
If she would love to be our sommelier for the evening,
I
we would
shouldn't have said
welcome that.
anything, my God, what have I created? Yeah,
Okay, maybe we can vote on it next time, once I get a better sense of what we'll do. Does that work?
Well, yeah, that's also a question for the town.
What?
What if you're gonna serve alcohol? Whether-
It's in their rental, yeah. It's in the LHS rental agreement that we can serve alcohol without a licensed bartender if it's beer and wine.
I know, but I would wanna run it by the town,
Okay,
because we're a town sanctioned organization,
true.
and that's something I can ask
Okay.
Kirsten as well.
Okay, great. All right, and
I
then,
just want their blessing
yeah,
to do it.
sure, that's fine. Time-wise, it's a Saturday. I don't really want to do it at night. I was thinking 3 to 5 p.m., setup starting at 2, 3 to 5. We might have to rent it for 4 hours to deal with the takedown
Yeah.
afterwards. So does that time sound okay? Should it be earlier? What do you think?
seems good.
Sounds good to me.
Okay. Awesome. And then Larry, can we use your Easy Up tent on the outside?
Steph's the one that provided
Steph's
the
one with
tent.
I think that is the date of the St. Peter's Fair.
It is.
Yeah, so
Oh, so your
Unfortunate-
tent is out of.
she'll be using it, yeah.
I have
sorry.
an REI type tent that you're welcome, you know, we can use, but
Okay.
it's not as fancy as what Steph's on.
Yeah, sorry.
We really don't need one. I was just thinking for like a little welcome table outside of the barn.
Hmm.
And it might not even be sunny, so might not really need it.
It's just a camping pop-up, and I have to duck my head when I walk into
Oh,
it, so.
okay. Yeah. I was thinking more of like the things Steph has, but
Yeah.
we think we'd be fine without it.
The
Okay.
town
that's-
has one. Kirsten brings one. That's not yours, right? The town has one that Kirsten's brought to the concerts.
Okay.
I think it, you know that one, Larry? Is that
Yeah,
the
I
same thing?
forgot about that.
Yeah.
So Kirsten, so somebody at the town has one.
Perfect. Yep, that's it for me. Thank you.
How many
Uh,
submissions were there? Sorry, 60s.
There were more submissions than that. Not everybody got back to me.
Or how
about
many
acceptance.
entries in the,
66 pieces
That's
will
what
be
I thought.
published by 34 artists.
66?
More than half of them are from Londonderry, and the rest are nearby.
I have a couple questions for you, but one thing I do want to mention, just as a matter of sensitivity, Linda's husband passed away last week. I don't know if you knew that or not.
She mentioned he was not doing well, but I didn't
Yeah.
know he passed away.
Linda who?
Thank
Jim
you.
Green. He's a really solid citizen around here, did a lot of volunteer work. And then the other, for those of you that might know, Ron Campo also passed away. So anyway, what do I owe you? I mean, you got the editor letter.
Yeah, I got the letter,
You,
the Andy Mack piece.
yeah, I want to talk to Stephen. I wanted to talk to Stephen about that. So, we were wanted to put like a tribute page to Andy in there.
Sure.
And I looked at the photography you did for the
Signs?
signs thing. And wondered if you would pick something up. I seem to remember a picture of him. He was, you guys probably remember, but he had this crazy, hat on, winter hat on. He had American flag cowboy boots on, and he had his walking stick. And you got a picture of him, Stephen, walking across the parking lot, but I think there was one where he was sitting in the alcove to the farm stand, and he was kind of laid back, like this.
I think it was leaning against a table,
Yeah,
like that one.
yeah,
Is that on
That's
the
what-
you know what I'm talking about?
I think so. I'm looking now.
Yeah. Sounds
So
familiar.
Dasha, what would you, I mean, we can do a little write-up, like a one paragraph write-up on that, and I'm happy to do that. But what would you imagine for that component? One page for him, or?
Ooh, let's see, a little paragraph mentioning that he passed away recently, and this section is a tribute to him would be nice. But also, I thought we had talked about publishing the
The letter from, the
so
article
right,
that Greg
yeah,
wrote.
that's on our website. Like, just putting that in there.
Where is
as
that?
is.
I wasn't looking for that.
It's in the section called Andy Mack Sign Language. Let me send it over to you, and there are some photos of him there. It's really a nice little part of our website. Send it over.
I went looking for that the other day and I couldn't find it, the document.
Yeah, I mean, it's already written, so there's actually not
No, I
much
know,
to do
I
there
was
unless
go-
you want to read it.
I started to kit it all up the other day and I couldn't find
Oh, okay.
Greg's thing. And then I realized Stephen had a better picture of him than what I
Let me
could
see
find
if
on
that
it.
picture is here. I don't know if it is. These cool pictures
I've got the
of the
pictures
signs
you're
are
thinking
great.
of right here. I can show you.
Oh, cool. I really like join the Apple Core. I think that's so cute.
Yeah, so, why don't pick out what you want?
Yeah, I'll
Stephen,
pick-
if you have
pick out
something you
some.
wanna,
Yeah, what I can do is share the album with you.
Okay.
Was that the way?
Yeah.
They've got too many of them.
Which one will
I
you-
haven't edited them, of course. I got a zillion here. I just
Oh,
took,
yeah.
because
that's the one I was looking for.
yeah, and I haven't gone through to like pick out to edit it. So I assume I did this in, I think I had my real camera.
That's what I was wondering,
No.
because you've got three of his sign
Yeah,
art
signs
right
are,
in there.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
what
no,
they're,
this is only
what they're
from a
looking at right now,
cell
Steffi,
phone.
is a few years back, we met with Andy
2020.
Mack in his barn
yeah.
across from the farm
What is the
stand.
barn and where is it?
Okay.
It's on Mammoth Road, you know where the farm stand is, there's a barn that's across the street. And for years, Andy would paint signs, and so we had a chance to go through the workshop and pick out some signs with his assistants that we then put in the farm stand and sort of had an event around it. So we had the opportunity to spend some time with him, with his art, and then use the farm stand to promote it. So what we're looking at right now is the compilation of photos that are on our website, and we're gonna use that to put together a tribute letter for In Wild
Oh,
Apples.
wow.
So, just to
Is the
kind of keep
barn
it
the
posted.
big red one that's right there?
Is it red or is it gray? I think is it red?
Is
It's
that
got a giant pumpkin on the front.
on the door?
Yeah,
And across the street is where they sell all the stuff?
yes,
Yeah.
yep.
I love that barn. I would have painted, I'm taking up your time.
That was fun.
I
That's all
wanted
right.
to paint it on the plein air painting day.
Mm,
I didn't know where to park. There's no way to park and
yeah.
I didn't, it was hard. Where do people park if they want to get all their stuff and sit and paint outside? And there's no place to park on that, on Mammoth, you know, and I didn't know if I could use this people across the street, so it was hard.
There's a side road going into the orchard.
Oh,
So-
pass it, well,
Yeah, so, not to digress too much, but all the orchard land around the center of town is under a conservation easement.
Oh,
And,
really?
yeah, so it's accessible by the townspeople for walking, for painting, or whatever you want to do. You just can't bring a dog in there anymore, but,
Right. And we had permission on that day to park in their farm stand lot, so, but,
But
you know,
people don't,
something.
well, maybe it's just me, but how do new people know that they're, I think,
By getting involved, so thank you. Did everybody hear that?
Are you recorded right now?
Yeah.
Although I cannot find these on the YouTube channel website. The recordings of these?
Oh, you can't?
No.
Yeah.
I think there's one or two from a year ago or further, but for some reason they don't post any.
well, I know, but Doge is probably monitoring us
Yeah,
right
well,
now, so.
absolutely, of course. Yeah, we're all fired, by the way.
Hold my tongue.
I mean,
We
you
don't
park
get
along the
paid,
side of
so.
the road and you're not
We're still
Well,
fired.
I think you could
We're
park in the
inefficient.
farm
We're not
stand
losing.
if you asked. You just go
They're
into the farm
losing
stand and
if
say,
they
would it be
fire
okay
us."
if I parked here?
Oh,
You know, on on a
I
slow
wouldn't
day.
even ask. I would just park there.
And I
and-
only said that for recording.
I'm bad. I would just
You're
park.
a young person.
And you can go in and buy something, and if you
Yeah,
want,
buy an
Yeah.
apple.
buy an apple.
Oh, you mean park, oh, okay.
I wouldn't
thought
park
of
on the
that, but
side
then
of the road.
Yeah.
I think that's dangerous
It's
to park
dangerous,
on the side
Yeah, I
of the
wouldn't
road.
park
Yeah.
on Mammoth.
See,
It gets
the
really
view I
scary
wanted,
when they
that's my
have that
problem.
crap
I
Yeah.
can't just
people are parked
You're right, oh,
all
yeah.
along the road
Or
there.
you could park at the town forest and
Or just
hike
walk it.
down.
I
But
could go into the cemetery, even though I
You-
yeah,
You can go in the cemetery.
Yeah, you can go
yeah, you
with
can
open
go in
foot.
the cemetery.
guess. Really?
Yeah.
There's no dogs.
I just didn't mean to interrupt your meeting.
No, that's also a
To the
beautiful
dog
place to
pound,
paint
right?
too. There's some beautiful trees.
All right, all set?
Yeah, thanks.
So I don't owe you anything more, right, except,
No.
um,
Well, your song. Did you send?
did I get you the lyrics or no?
What about the recording?
I have the recording, but what do you want me to do with it?
I thought we were gonna try and embed the link.
It's not up, it's not,
I'll put it up for you. I'll
You
make a
will?
little SoundCloud or Bandcamp for you.
you
and
will?
Put it up. Yeah,
You would do that?
as long as you sign off on it and make sure it's to your liking.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's great.
Yeah, just send it to me.
And then I'm bugging my friend Greg for an image, because he did, one of the many things he did was, he had a standing gig with a friend of his on a windjammer cruise up in Maine. He would get free passage for entertainment. And he took a lot of pictures, which I think would fit right in with the, but I'm gonna have to go down and grab him by the arm and make him sit down and get a picture of it.
Yeah.
So I'll kit that up and get it over to you. All right, concerts on the Common, Stephen.
Sure.
So before we start, and unless you want to,
No, go ahead.
no, Stephanie, you
Set
can
this up?
set it up.
All right, so
You did
next,
such a good
we're
job.
talking about concerts on the Commons. So have you seen at the town commons on Wednesday night? There's a massive crowd.
Yes, and my question, being an outsider, is fascinates me because you call that the center of town.
It's more or less, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yep. So that's the Commons,
Okay.
and every Wednesday night beginning at most Wednesday nights beginning at 7 p.m., we have a free concert brought to you by the Art Council, more importantly, Concerts on the Commons. We have sponsors who help us put it on along with the town and as well as the New Hampshire Arts Grants.
New Hampshire Council on the Arts.
Council on the Arts, we have a grant from them as well. So we have anywhere from 600 to 1,000 people that show up every week. And more recently, we've added food trucks. There's bubble machine for kids, and it's just a great community event. And you get to listen to live music. Anything I missed? The raffle, but
And a free raffle.
and a free raffle,
Yeah.
which people look
yogurt.
forward to.
How do people know about this?
We communicate through the newspaper. Do we still do? Yep. So we put the schedule in the newspaper.
The
We have it on the
Londonderry
chamber
Times?
site.
Yeah.
Yep, the Londonderry Times. We have it on our Facebook, our Instagram, as well as the chamber. We put the events with the chamber, out in the chamber. And then I don't know if we still post the schedule in different venues throughout town. We've done that in the past.
I know
Not
there's
for a long time.
people that don't even live in Londonderry that come because I
Yeah.
have friends that
We
live
have
there.
something like 15 community,
Oh, yeah.
people from
Yeah.
15 communities come to
Yeah.
it. And a lot of times it's just word of mouth. You see something going on here and you just find a parking spot and you,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the hard part.
Parking again.
Kirsten's
Well,
been
it's
putting
like
it in
voting,
the,
the parking for
the,
voting. that
the
was-
lantern as well. Yep, so
Yeah,
it's
which-
also in the town lantern, which
do you
is
get that?
available
Do you
on
get
the-
email from the town? Are you signed up for, you can get email from the town about voting, about different events in the town.
The only way I hear is through if I pick up a paper. you know,
Yeah,
pick
I
up
mean, a
one.
good way is to sign up for the email, then they'll,
Where do you do that?
that's a good question. I did it so many
See,
long
that's the
ago.
thing. It's
It
very
is
hard to get
available on-
information. I
Yeah.
hate to say it, but it's not very user-friendly.
Yeah, it's on their Londonderry, New Hampshire.gov. I think there's a place to
Is it,
sign
yeah,
for it.
.gov now? It used to be
But
.gov.
you also raise a point, maybe we'll give you a schedule to post in the Crossroads,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Crossroads community. You said you had a meeting hall?
Oh,
'Cause
yeah.
we
Clubhouse.
have quite a few attendees from that community.
Oh, yeah, for
No,
sure.
I know there's very active people.
Yeah.
but- And then I try to find out about it and I can't. It's just me, I'm old and ignorant as far as it comes to that way. And it's hard for me to find out what's going on.
Yeah. No, we do put it in the free paper, the Londonderry Times.
Yeah,
So, but it is only one week, where we have, because it's expensive to put the
yeah,
thing in, so.
okay.
So anyway, so we've booked all of the concerts except for one. We had one back out. I was not surprised at all. He was very difficult to work with, but he backed out just a couple days ago. So I'm reaching out to another band that we had last year that was really good. It's always, we have too many bands, so it's not a problem getting a good band. We've sent out approximately 75 fundraising letters. And they're not really that random, they're fairly targeted, so hopefully we'll get good response. We've raised about $5,400 so far, and we have about $12,000 to go. And we're waiting for confirmation on the funds that we're getting from the town. I don't know,
Where's that
anything
money
else,
go?
Larry, the obvious stuff I'm missing here? I know too
Does
much.
that money go, where does that money go that you're raising?
To the,
It goes to the town, and it's to pay the band members.
Oh, okay.
We have to pay the bands.
I don't know if there's a chance we could get Royal Otis, but they played at Boston Calling last year. Royal Otis.
Royal Otis.
They
We'll
they
see
may
what
not
happens.
fit the style, but they're really similar to Couch. They play quite a few cover bands.
Okay,
They
Yeah.
may be beyond our reach, but
yeah. Well, so I'll see what happens with, I haven't heard back from, I just emailed them yesterday. I haven't heard back from East Coast Soul yet, but if I don't hear back, I'll make a note of Royal Otis. I mean, with a name like that, they have to be good, right?
They're like
And the other-
Australian, though. I think they're Australian. Something in New Zealand. Maybe they're around.
Sorry about that.
I had the opportunity to go to see John Mack,
John Mack.
which is Danny Hicks' band. So they had.
I reached out for them
Yeah.
last year, and they,
It's too bad.
they
cool.
would- they
Sorry,
didn't do
'cause
anything.
they had a venue at the Orchard, and it was awesome.
Really,
They
I,
are. They
I
play a lot of
tried.
covers.
Yeah, I
They got a few
tried.
different singers, so I can drop in and see if I can get a hold of them if you want. But,
Honestly, at this point, I wouldn't, if they,
no, I'm sorry.
I mean, I really made an effort last
I
year
know.
to try to get
Maybe
hold
they
of
don't
them.
do public, I mean,
I mean, tell
maybe they
them
keep it
they'll
to
get
private.
paid. They get
Maybe they
paid
keep it to
pretty good,
private
right?
shows.
Yeah,
Too bad, sorry.
Royal Otis.
Danny, if you're listening, we want you.
So, yeah,
Just kidding.
no,
I don't know how else to put it out there.
yeah.
I'm glad they can't find us with my goofy recordings.
Mm.
Do they have a price that when they do that, they say this is what we're gonna charge you?
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
I didn't know
typically
if you
what-
said it or
No, they,
they
well, I
let
try to
you know.
negotiate it down,
Oh,
but,
yeah.
yeah. I ask them, what do you guys charge, you know? And
Yeah.
then I say, well, it's a Wednesday, it's sponsored, it's a sponsor-driven thing, so they usually, you know,
Come down a little.
down a little bit, or they don't start high to begin with.
Yeah.
Stephen, the only other thing you may want to speak to is the kids' concert that you're working on with the library.
All right. And so we're working with the town to do another kids' concert this year. They're trying to get a band. They've got someone that they're talking to, and they're trying to confirm that they can do it. I get nervous because it's a Saturday. And I know from last year that they had trouble finding somebody that hadn't already been booked. But they're on it, and so I don't know what the cost is or anything yet, but we're planning on doing another Saturday kids concert.
Now, is this geared to what age group in kids? Is it like?
It's younger kids.
Younger kids? like-
Yeah, I don't know, last year was probably 5 to 10,
Okay,
I'm gonna say something like that, maybe a little bit older. So,
okay. I was just curious.
yeah, it's definitely younger kids.
Thank you, Stephen. So the last item on the agenda was financial management, just an ongoing discussion about that, but since our treasurer is not here tonight, I'm gonna.
I do have the latest numbers, if you want those.
Yeah,
From the, so right now we have, now this is from the town report of February 28th, so there's been some change. I've made deposits, but at that point in time, it was $24,689 and 89 cents on the music side, and it's $2,065.70 on the art side. I think that's actually 2,698, not 89.
I don't know if that includes the deposits that I made too.
Anything up to the 28th.
was-
I think it did include your
Yeah,
deposit.
there was some, and I just made some, so that wouldn't be included.
I remember seeing a deposit.
I think one of the things I did want to cover under that topic is, there's a bullet there for reporting, but I think what would be beneficial for all of us is to get a periodic, everybody get a copy of that. In fact, I'm happy to send out a copy of that
Yeah.
report that Stephen's looking at. I'll make a note and I'll do that. But periodically to do it throughout the year, so all of us know what
Yeah, I think
resources
that's a
we have.
good idea too, so we
Yeah.
know when we want to do shows, what if we need to do
Yeah.
fundraising or,
So I'll send that report out. You just need to understand there have been transactions since then, but as of the end of February, that was accurate. And then the fiscal year starts on July 1st, so the new funding from the town will come in at that point, unless there's some adjustment made to the budget that we're not aware of. And then probably at the end of the concerts on the common season, Stephen and Julie settle everything up. That would probably be a good time to do it.
Yeah.
So I'll think about what a reasonable schedule might be. All right, any other things we want to talk about? Sasha, you're good, Steph, good, Stephen? All right, I'll adjourn the meeting, or let's vote to adjourn, all in favor? Okay, meeting's adjourned. Steffi, do you have any questions of us?
Yes, I have a big question that's really bothering me. Karen, does she have a committee that's helping her? Are you doing this all by yourself?
Oh, no, everybody kind of does different things to,
Yeah, but you need a committee
well.
of your own.
I have to
doing
think
this all
about
by
that next
herself?
year.
I mean, I'm serious. That's a huge job she has.
Everybody kind of
Everybody's quiet,
volunteers
nobody's
and
saying
helps out.
anything.
Well, to answer your question, that's how we operate. You asked, how do you become involved, and I said you become a volunteer first, but I mean, the biggest undertaking that we have every year is
Yeah.
Concerts on the Common. We run a dozen concerts during the summertime, and Steve and his wife Julie are the anchors of that, but
It's up to them to get people to help them,
Yeah, they,
It's easy to do, though.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody,
is it?
yeah, I mean, Karen will have a bunch of people at the,
yeah,
I mean,
yeah, a
we
lot
kind
of
of know
people
what we've
do.
done because we've
Yeah.
done it so many
Really?
times. Like,
Yeah.
she knows that I'm gonna put up the signs,
Yeah.
in the morning, and she knows that, who's coming, the day before. So, a lot of it's kind of unspoken, really.
But-
See, this
but
is
we
a
are the
small town that I'm not,
we are the
This-
committee.
hmm?
We are the committee.
Yeah, so,
There's
She's
up to us to,
there's three other
That's
members.
it.
I'm gonna clap for all of you because I would think, I don't know why you don't burn out.
There's three other
that's
members
the
that
biggest
just happen
thing I
that
think
happen
we
not to
do
be
is
here
Concerts on
tonight.
the Common.
Yeah,
They do, and
yeah.
that's the real,
Yeah, well, because it's a multi-day thing.
yeah.
I mean, if it was.
So
Arts
one of the
Arts
things I
Cafe
would
for
encourage you
11
to
weeks,
do is,
like that, right?
But it's, yeah, but
we
but
do
all
have
volunteer and
some
do it.
events that will give you an opportunity to get exposed to what we're doing, so,
I would like to help, but I couldn't really hear all of it and I don't, so, and someone needs to take me by the hand, I guess.
so anyway, and I'll try to recap these in an email to you, but let's see, one of the things I would encourage you to do is, if you're not already a member of the senior center in town, to go up and check it out and join, because it's an opportunity. I mean, there's art activities that go on in there,
Okay.
not at the caliber of the work that you do, but there are people with interest in art.
Okay.
They have programming going on throughout the week. It's an old Grange Hall located in the
It's
north
right
end.
there on the main street of Derry, right?
No,
That big white building?
no, this is
The one
in
Hudson?
this is in North Londonderry.
Yeah,
I
if you're
guess I
going
don't-
that way.
So you know Mammoth Road here?
Yeah,
Okay, so you're gonna take Mammoth Road north, and it goes all the way up, I don't know how well you can picture it, it comes to like,
I drove it one time because
oh,
there's
okay,
a cafe or something up there that someone's
that
always
was
talking
probably
about.
this.
Is that it?
Yes, we're up that
Is it
direction.
a little house on the corner of several intersections, is that?
No,
Never mind. Anyway,
Yeah,
It's the old Grange, so it used to be called the Mayflower Grange,
oh,
so, but it is on the corner of an intersection. It's
It
just a
is.
pretty good sized building.
yeah,
oh, okay,
it's not just a little house, it's a facility,
Okay.
yeah.
okay.
But that's, so, that is the same place that Karen's going to be holding her Arts Cafe, so if you go up for the senior and you kind of know it, then
Yeah,
you already know how to get to the Arts Cafe then. It's the same building.
Oh, it is?
Yes,
Yeah.
we're holding it in the senior center on a Saturday,
Oh,
on
yeah,
a Saturday.
I guess I thought when you said that it was, isn't there a senior center as you go into Derry, into the town of Derry?
there may well be,
It's
but
on the left hand, it's a big white building and,
You're thinking of the Marion Garrish Community Center,
Yeah.
I think. There's a
Yeah.
thrift store there.
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's Derry.
that's Derry.
Different town, different
really?
organization,
Okay,
yeah,
see,
but-
to me, this is all one big conglomerate, and
Yeah.
I'm getting a real lesson tonight.
Oh, heavens, that's
think once you-
dairy.
I love dairy.
Yeah.
Once you go to the
Yeah.
senior center, you'll probably then realize why we call the Commons the center of London.
wait a minute, it's not all that complicated. You come from Pennsylvania, where they have townships, boroughs, I mean,
Well,
The yellow belt, the orange
we
belt.
had a farm in New Boston, now that's not a very big place either, so I had a little taste
Yeah.
of small
anyway, I
New
would,
England town.
I'll send you an email,
Yeah, okay.
point you in this, but
Okay.
the reason I'm suggesting you get, you know, you get involved or at least exposed to it, is that there's a community of seniors that are very active, and you'll find out about what's going on
Oh,
around
that's
town and
super.
everything.
Thank you, I didn't even know about this, so this is
But then
helpful.
the other thing is Karen's gonna be running the Arts Cafe there. Then, on the 23rd of March, we're having the senior jam session that I mentioned, where we're bringing musicians into the senior center on a Sunday afternoon. Another opportunity for you to network and plug in,
Same building.
in the
same
same
building.
building. so.
Alana, I'm not sure I pronounced her name right.
Alona.
She is very good about all kinds of stuff there.
I
She's
go up
always
there, I guess.
got.
Will I find it if I just drive up Mammoth Road?
No,
You-
because
It's,
that's
yeah.
a whole other
There's a
story.
secret way.
What?
There's a secret way. It's hard to find the first time. I mean, once you understand it, it's easy to find.
If you go on our website, I think Steve has the link on the Arts Cafe to how to get there.
Oh, good.
Yeah, can you use Google Maps?
Yes.
Yeah, then you're all set. It's if you go to our website, which is
And-
londonderartscouncil.org.
Let's send her the
I
link.
can show you if you
Yeah.
want. I've got a computer here if you want to see how to get to it.
Let me just send her the link.
Are you,
Yeah.
Over, I don't wanna.
She's gonna send you the link to.
Yeah.
Oh, will you? Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
are you available on the 12th? Will you be able to come to the Arts Cafe, or
Yeah, it could help.
you
Want it?
could do tickets?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, I can do most anything. What do you need
Yeah,
me
you should
for?
help.
Well, maybe the tickets when I get that kind of organized more.
How to
Alright.
get there.
Oh, do you have my email? Email is the best way to get me.
Yeah, I don't know if I do.
It's Stephanie@yahoo.com.
Do you want to just write it?
COLMAN with a K.
What, Stephen, I don't see like directions that
No,
are
I'm looking at it
typed
right
up.
here too, and
It
it's,
would be helpful to add that though, because maybe not
Yeah,
everyone uses
You need to add
Google
some more
Maps.
stuff to your community stuff.
I
Because
thought that the
you-
link that,
You can't assume that everybody knows everything, because there's a lot of you who don't know anything.
I mean, you can zoom on this thing.
Karen, send
but
her
it-
a flyer
it
too,
opened
once you
in-
get it
Oh, yeah, I
updated. She
will,
can
yeah.
post it in the Cross Farm
Okay.
bulletin.
That's
I guess I should get that updated. I don't know
Crossfarms.
how
Couldn't
far.
remember the name.
I
Oh,
know
I live
don't
near
know.
there. That's like the senior, new senior
That's where she
housing.
lives.
Yeah.
Not that everybody in Londonderry wants to know what this.
Oh, you're something, I was just. Yeah,
I'll tell you later. I'll tell you later.
Why doing it?
I know, but you're gonna
All
hurt
right,
yourself.
meeting's adjourned.
Yes.
Can we chat outside?
Yes.
I think my humble opinion.
They're small. They're doing crafts. They do.
Yeah.
Is that
Do
like
well.
real?
Yeah, that looks good. And the tea is